Okay, in 1952, ACF Brill was looking for orders. Too many other companies were making buses, Beck, Mack, Aerocoach, Flexible, others. Brill had the capacity to do everything that GM did not do. They had the labor force that were skilled, they had materials, they had management, they had machines, just needed orders. They got an order for Army buses, the C-37 and the RC-37 for the Korean War. Then they got a contract to restore 2.5-ton U.S. Army trucks to military readiness. When they were rebuilt, you had a truck ready for battle for about 10% of the cost of a brand new truck. They started out with a total steam cleaning. Then it was taken to a disassembly line. The trucks were all torn down. The motors were pulled, the cab was lifted, the cargo bin was lifted, axles were taken down. All the parts were sent off to separate areas that were set up to take the individual units apart. The frames were sandblasted. The motors were all disassembled. And they're inspected. The axles were all disassembled. The engines were all torn down. They took the transmissions out, inspected them, looked for worn parts. Then they went to work rebuilding the engines. Engines were reassembled with new bearings, valves, pistons, and rings. Carbs were rebuilt. The engines were then put on a dynamometer for 2.5 hours. Make sure that they're working right. The next level was the frames were painted and prepared for the assembly line to put the whole thing back together again. The trucks would move along to a new station every half hour. The cabs were rebolted into place. Axles were repositioned. Transmission, motors were all reset in. New wheels and tires were bolted on. The beds were dropped down and bolted in. And out the door they went to the Philadelphia Ordnance District. Now, there's a really nice video on YouTube. If you type in 1950s factory rebuilding Army trucks, July 22nd, 2019, put on by myfootage.com, you'll see a movie all about this whole process. And when they got the truck done, they put a plate on it like a builder's plate, only this is a rebuilder plate. This vehicle has been reconditioned by ACF Brill Motors Company, 62nd Woodland Avenue, Philadelphia. Has a date, another space for something on there. This is a blank, and it's clean, so it was never installed on a truck. I imagine this went out with somebody's lunchbox, or during the liquidation sale, a lot of stuff was just sold to go out. But anyway, that's the story of the reconditioning of trucks contract ACF Brill had for the Korean War.